Welcome, Wapham crew, guys, gals, ghouls, and otherworldly beings. Let's climb aboard the mothership, secure our tinfoil hats, buckle down tight, and hold on loosely as we soar over the rocky tops of the La Platas on a rocky mountain high. Get sucked into the vortex of the Four Corners and settle down snugly at mile marker 420 in colorful Colorado. I'm your ghostess with the mostest, TessaTNT, broadcasting live from the Mile High Clubhouse tonight. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. And welcome to We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. It's an honor and a pleasure and a privilege hanging out with you tonight. Killing time, as it would be said. As you do. If you want to listen in your free time, whether you're working it, or working out, feel free to look me up on Spreaker.com and wherever else you listen to your broadcasts and podcasts. Here we are, Paradox Media. So I was going to do a live video tonight, but in the making of my chicken coop, like I made part of it last year, and this year I expanded by double the original size. And yeah, I put the tin up there to measure how long I'd like it to be, and went and grabbed tools, to get them back into one area, and decided to walk into the tin panel sticking off my roof and basically tried to chop my face off. So I have an abrasion like right on the bridge of my nose, and then it felt like it cut my left eyebrow and eyelid, but there's really no damage there. It mostly got my nose, and it didn't really hurt, so that's good. That's good, I guess. Alright, so instead of reading Mr. Stephen King or ghost stories or scary encounters and other things that we generally do, I figured we'd tend to some new lands. We'll go and explore strange new lands and see what happens. And so I was tossing around a few of these, and of course I had to pull up true scary stories just because, you know me, I like the scary stuff. But I was thinking we can do some Am I the Jerk? Am I the Devil? And today I fucked up. So I'm wondering, where should I start? And I figured we'll go with Am I the Jerk? Alright, this one is by Maggie_Lins. Planted very hot chilies in front yard to teach thriving neighborhood kids a lesson. I think they meant to put thieving neighborhood kids. Am I the jerk? My front yard gets really good sun and is well sheltered, so I have a little veggie patch there. To give you the picture, I have a large native tree that grows recumbent along the front, forming a gorgeous natural barrier, but you can still access the yard easily from my driveway. I live in a quiet street, and everyone knows the patch is there, and nice neighbors stop to chat with me when I work in it. I very often share the produce, tomato, zucchini, radish, every 3 years, and an embarrassment of beans, if you know what I know. You know, you know. Lately I've noticed veggies going missing and the plants often being damaged. I thought someone was hungry, so I started putting out a little basket of ripe veggies they could use or just take, with a sign saying free to good home and free from my backyard patch, but they were ignored and the damage continued. So I placed a hidden trail cam in the tree and caught some teenagers coming into the property and laughing as they ripped up plants and stuffed the veggies in their pockets and faces. I tried talking to their parents, but they were perhaps less than polite, more like verbally aggressive, So this season, I just planted chilies. Carolina Reapers to be exact, and a couple bird's eyes. They are very commonly available at any local Bunnings. I put up a sign which is lit up by fairy lights at night, stating, "Very hot chilies, please do not touch." Then I sat back and enjoyed watching them ripen. Yesterday I noticed a few were gone when I came back from my night shift. I checked the footage and same kids had decided they'd try them. The results are fantastic. I haven't laughed that hard in a very long time. I feel somewhat guilty now, though. I know damn well those things hurt like heck, and they pick them with their bare hands, so good chance they got a second dose in their eyes or similar if they didn't wash them first. I'm torn between gales of laughter as I rewatch the footage and guilt. Am I the jerk? I'm in Australia, by the way, which is why they are ripening now. Edit. 1. No further damages to the property a little over a week later. 2. I'm not going to post the video or audio, you sickos. They're minors. Also, some legal concerns in my state if I do. Potentially. Also, I really don't need anyone stupid to identify my yard/me and do something nasty. That is true, but no, I don't think you're the asshole. And you even, went the extra distance there to, put out some veggies and stuff for them to take so they didn't damage your garden anymore, but alas, they still did it. And hopefully picking those peppers taught them a lesson. Zibby put, not the jerk. Growing natural pest deterrents is a time-honored gardening tradition. You even posted lit signage that any intelligent being could read. Teenagers, none of us is as dumb as all of us. Maggie's Lynn said, "This is true. I forgot they deter pests. Do I grind them and spread them for that purpose, or we'll have to look that up. If you have chooks, the dried chili seeds, feed to them. Help keep intestinal parasites away. Also chickens. I don't know what chooks are. Oh. In Australia, they call chickens chooks. Huh. Wow, you learn something new every day. Alright. Yeah. Now everybody's stuck on chooks. Oh no. Alright. Well, let's scroll back to the top and on to the next one, shall we? Throw away, I don't know, dash. Cute little features on their little character there. It's so cute. Alright, let's see what we got here. Am I the jerk for saying that I'd file a restraining order against my brother when I'm old enough? Just gotta make sure we're recording over here. Yep, everything looks good. Good. Sorry, had you on there. This is a throwaway account. All names in this are fake and are just referencing colors. This all just happened, so I apologize if this seems rushed. So my brother 16 mil, let's call him Lime, for the last couple years has been making my 15 female life a living nightmare. Whenever he's been around me, telling me to eat myself, etc. And he also caused a lot of drama at my current secondary school, getting him basically expelled, causing me to be known as Lime's sister, and getting me bullied in my first couple of years there until my friends stood up for me. Moving on to today, we were coming back from my dad's. My dad isn't Lime's dad, but does act like his dad and has for all his life, as his dad walked out on him and my mum. And my key wasn't working on the lock of my mum's house because the bit at the other side of the lock was turned. Lime started to get slightly irritated and ended up slapping me. Wow, what a jerk. A few minutes after this whole ordeal, my mum, who was sleeping beforehand, unlocked the door, letting us in. As Lime was moving something through the living room where I was, I forgot to grab the kitten, so he blew up at me, telling me that I was useless, etc. My mom gave him into trouble, and another few minutes after that, Lime started to yell at me again while I was crying. I have terrible anxiety because of stuff like this. I told him that when I'm old enough, I will be getting a restraining order against you. I want nothing to do with you, before shutting the living room door in his face. My mom continued giving him into trouble and is completely on my side. But I just want to know others' opinions on this. So, am I the jerk for telling my brother that I will be getting a restraining order against him when I am old enough? TLDR, my brother slapped me for not being able to unlock my mom's door, blew up at me for not grabbing the kitten while he was taking something through, and I told him that when I'm old enough, I'll be getting a restraining order against him. But also, if it's worth adding, Lime games all the time and is constantly shouting slurs and has been swearing since he was around 8 or 9 years old. At my grandma's, which is partly why I can't come out as lesbian to my parents yet. Edit 2, I'm yet to tell my mum about what he's been saying to me, as I'm just afraid of what would happen and I'm just not sure how, as I'm terrible at telling people anything and how my dad would react as well. Edit 3. Also, if it's worth mentioning, I live in the UK, so I'm not exactly sure what the laws surrounding this are. Edit 4. My brother does have autism and ADHD, and so do I. I think everybody these days has ADHD, to be honest with you. Edit 5. I can't exactly move in with my dad, as I do want to keep seeing my mom's cats, as I've been around the first one for over 9 years, and I've been around the kitten since he was 1 to 2 weeks old, plus my mom lives halfway across town from my dad. Alright, well, I don't think you're the jerk. I mean, that's ridiculous for him to be hitting you over something so minor. Or period. You know, just because you get angry or upset or irritated, it gives you no right to lay your hands on another human being. Let's look what everybody else has to say. Kitten Dolly 13 says, not the jerk. Your brother's toxic. He keeps telling you to yeet yourself. No one should have to live with someone like that. He hits you and yells at you. You said your mother is on your side. Well, she needs to be a parent and not a doormat. Is there somewhere else you could live? Sadly, there's nowhere else, as he doesn't have a job yet, and I am yet to tell my mom about all he's been saying to me, as I'm just afraid of how she would react. Yeah, you need to put an end to that. He needs to know that that is not okay. Let's see. Dazzling Potion said, Lime started to get slightly irritated and ended up slapping me. That's assault. I suggest you tell him if he ever touches you again, you will report it, and then you may not have to wait until you're 18 to keep him away from you. Yeah, Vegetable Section 84 says, please get smart, trustworthy school staff and counselor to help you out of there into healthy, safety, useful life. Not the jerk, not the asshole. Jaded P said, not the jerk, your mom is failing you. He should not be allowed to get away with this. I agree. And how could you not know? Like, you're living in the same house. You should be able to hear what's going on. I hear my kids fighting, which is basically every day. All right. Impressive visit QBBX posted. My girlfriend waited a year to have sex with me, but I find out she did it with a random guy in college she just met. My sister told me to have self-respect and leave the relationship. Am I the jerk for considering leaving? No. And it says here that this post was deleted by the person who originally posted it. I wonder if somebody close to the situation read this. Oh. Yeah, everybody's saying you're not the asshole, and yeah, you don't need an excuse to leave, but no, you're not. You need to stand up for yourself, know your worth, and allow others to know your worth as well. You let somebody get away with stuff, they'll do it even more and even worse. So, gotta put a stop to that for sure. Version excellent 4255 said, original post, you said you were mostly exclusive the first year, so yeah, I'd say you're the jerk. Cheesy Chew says, oh, so OP was messing around with other people? Beach Not Broken said, I'm guessing that's why she waited a year, was probably the guy that screwed and walked with a reputation for the date and dump, and people are mostly exclusive are just entitled cheaters. Huh. Well, maybe that's the reason he deleted this post. Well, let's move on, shall we? All right. Educational Chemist 14. Am I the jerk for not giving my cousin a job at my company after he lied on his resume? You had your cousin give you a resume for a job in your company? That's interesting. I, 33 male, work as a hiring manager at a mid-sized marketing firm. My cousin Evan, 24 male, recently applied for a junior position. He told me he had a degree and a year of agency experience. During screening, HR flagged inconsistencies. Turns out he never graduated and exaggerated his previous role. I called him privately and he admitted it, but said, come on, it's family, just push it through. I told him I couldn't do that. I'd be risking my own job. He said I was a corporate sellout who forgot where I came from. Now my aunt and mom are furious with me for humiliating him. Am I the jerk? I call BS on that. He's the jerk for lying and expecting you to pull some ish at work, which you could get fired or demoted or whatever for. Like, it's not worth it to lose your job over some jerk. And for your mom and aunt to be sticking up for this, that is ridiculous. That is unacceptable behavior. Chance Yak 8852. Not the asshole, you didn't embarrass him, he embarrassed himself. Family doesn't mean compromising ethics. I totally agree. Sorry, I had an incoming there. Luquin 2020 said, not the jerk. HR flagged the problems. You didn't dime him out. Your mom and aunt are just plain wrong to expect you to risk being fired to help your cousin. He still wouldn't get hired, and you'd get fired for trying to cover for him. Complex Dapper 6284 said, honestly, he embarrassed himself with the lies. You were just being responsible. Covering for him would have caused way more problems. Yeah, for real. And if you got him on like that, I don't know, I feel like he'd always hold it over your head. Well, I know, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. People like that pull random stuff like that. Very Frank One said, not to mention that OP was contacted by HR. What's he going to do? Hire a liar with HR knowing? Yeah, birds of a feather flock together, and, it kind of lumps you in with him. Cosmosis85, this is one of those be cool scenarios where someone asks you to put yourself in jeopardy. Nope, sorry, I'm not gonna do it. Not me, Jack. Sorry, I was just reading forward. Man, it must be the weather out there. It stormed and rained today, and I'm just a yawning mess over here. This one's by mysterious _artist 877. Am I the jerk because I, 29 female, haven't been in a mood for sexual activities for the last 3 days and told my husband, 30 male, no, I don't want to give him a HJ or BJ for 3 days in a row. Context, after 2.5 weeks of sex every day, I've been telling my man no because I'm not in the mood. I don't want to. I just want to relax and not have to think about sex and stuff. I'm tired. I've been working my ass off and I never get time to myself, being a mom. Don't get me wrong, I love my kids, but some days I just need some me time, but I don't get it. I get up, get kids ready, drop them off, go to work all day, get off, pick them up, go home and do laundry, dinner and such. I just want some time to myself. My husband has been getting mad and pissed off because I've said no for 3 days and I'm getting tired of his attitude about it. He just keeps pressing it. Am I the jerk for saying no? No, you're not. And just because you're married doesn't mean you have to do anything you don't want to do. And if he does force it, that is still considered rape. But yeah, he shouldn't be being a jerk about that, and he should understand, but I don't know. It sounds like you have your hands full with everything around the house, and he probably just works and does his own thing. You have to be mom, housekeeper, cook, and work, and be chauffeur, etc., etc. Dazzling Potion said, you should not be pressured, guilt trip, or have to put up with attitude because you need time to yourself. To be honest, your husband sounds like a selfish asshole. It's unrealistic to expect you to have sex with him every single day. Wistfully said, how much of the childcare and household chores does your husband do? Working moms who don't have partners who share all the home and child duties get burned out and need respite. Anything short of a 50-50 split of duties isn't fair. Of course, sometimes one of the other handles more of the daily duties for the other as needs arise, but that's what partners do for each other. A partner should not expect their spouse to attend their sexual needs on demand. That's what sex workers do. Cappy Book 916 said, it sounds like he wants a bang maid. Oh my. Saucy Eggplant 66 said, being a mom plus working full-time plus keeping the house together, you're allowed to just breathe for a second. He's being extra. Yep, totally agree. No Engineering 1296 said, totally agree, he needs to chill and understand you're feeling overwhelmed, not selfish. Seriously, and he doesn't need to be helping out. That's redonkulous. Redonkulous. This one is by user Havel Dune. Am I the jerk for refusing to run all the office morale stuff after HR put my name on a sign-up sheet without asking? I was hired as a data analyst last fall. Small tech company hybrid. My plate is full. quarter two dashboards, a messy migration late night paper once a week. Last month, HR rolled out a culture initiative, basically a spreadsheet of duties like birthday cupcakes, snack restock, welcome baskets, planning surprise parties, taking notes during meetings so managers can be more present. All that soft glue. I didn't sign up. I was in a client call. Next day, I get a ping. Congrats, you are lead for quarter one morale. Please pick a co-lead. My name was already typed in bold. Apparently, someone said I have good vibes because I bring muffins sometimes. Those muffins are from Costco and were for my team because we shipped a rough sprint, not a personality. I replied, thanks, but no, I was not asked and this is not my job class. HR wrote back, it is everyone's job to build community, and we need women to lead because we listen better. That made my skin crawl. I said again, I will join events, I will not plan them. My managers said we should be team players, but also admitted my objectives are behind and he needs me on the migration. Meanwhile, people started forwarding me requests like a dev asked if I can stock energy drinks with 0 sugar, and a director told me to schedule a baby shower at 3 p.m. on sprint review day. I stopped answering and HR created a group chat called Morale with me as owner. I left the chat. Yesterday, HR pulled me into a video call with a slide deck about how culture work is undervalued. Which I agree, but that means you pay people or adjust load. Not secretly assign women. I said if they want an actual coordinator role, post it. I will even help write the requirements. I am not free labor because I smile and print stickers straight. Now I'm getting side eyes and someone said I killed the vibe, which is wild because our vibe lately is 3 outages and lukewarm pizza. My manager told me to write it up for HR formally, so I did, including the gendered comment. HR is disappointed and says they will reevaluate the process, but a few coworkers think I made drama for nothing. So basically, long story short, company stuck me as unpaid morale lead without asking. With a gendered reason, I declined and documented it. People are salty. Am I the jerk? Don't be salty. No, I don't think you are. You shouldn't be required to do a job that you, like you said, you're not getting paid for it. You're not getting any extra bonus or anything like that. And you need to fulfill your duties on your original job. So yeah, they need to quit tripping and actually hire someone to do that. And that sexist remark, that was just ridiculous. HR should be the last person to be doing that. Do Cricket 1885 said, gross how they try to force shit on you. Puzzle headed home. 249 said, and gross for them to push it to women too. Negligent and sexist said, death comes to A11. Hell or Shine said, I'm honestly surprised they put that in writing. It's negligent, sexist, and stupid to put it in writing that they're automatically assigning women to this role that's not in their job description because women listen better. OP absolutely could use this written statement. And the fact that HR kept barreling ahead with giving her extra tasks not in her job description and a complaint about sexism. No Appointment 7232 said, might run that past a lawyer. Just enough pushback to get everyone to drop this now. Yep. Holdfast02 said, that one kinda baffles me. Every company I've ever been at, HR was always 80% women. Is this some kind of bucket of crabs thing with other women trying to pull OP down? I've never heard that term before. Bucket of crabs. That's a good one. Tassyborn said, "It wouldn't surprise me if many women in HR genuinely believe that all women are naturally better as soft stuff, and are surprised when women like OP 100% legitimately push back." Yep. You are not the jerk, my friend. Have you guys seen that show on Netflix? Beast in Me? It was pretty good. Sorry, it just popped up on my screen, so I figured I'd let you know. If you haven't seen it, you should really see it. And it was crazy because I thought it was a movie, but come to find out, it was a miniseries. Yeah, it was really good. Remember the chick from My So-Called Life back in the day? I think, what does it say? Her name is Claire Danes. Anyways, she's the lead person in it. Okay, _bluebird_881. Am I the jerk for refusing to let my brother move back in after he got divorced? My brother R has just recently divorced. He does not have children, and his former wife evicted him out of their apartment. He then inquired whether he could temporarily stay in the house of our parents and still get on his feet. I live in that house too. I explained to him that I am not comfortable with him moving in since I only got a new, very challenging job, and I am already sharing the house with him. My mental health problems also require me to have a stable and calm environment. He replied that I am not being supportive and that it is the time to support one another in a family. Our parents began to push me as well, and they said that I need to sacrifice my comfort and allow him to stay. I suggested options. I would assist him in getting a small apartment, a bit of money to cover rent, or even assist him in searching out a roommate, but he denied it, saying none of it was as good as returning home. Now he is bitter. My parents are angry with me, and the situation at home is strained. I am guilty, and I understand that letting him move in would have an impact on my work, mental health, and my feeling of stability. So, am I the jerk because I refuse to accept my recently divorced brother back into the house of my parents? I don't think so. I mean, it sounds like he's just expecting that. And is it your house or your parents' house? I don't understand. Are your parents living there too? No, you shouldn't have to. And it sounds like you guys don't have a very good relationship, and like you said, it would interfere with your steady life and your job, etc. And you even, said that you would help with paying rent and finding a place or even a roommate. Lost and Found said, "You're the jerk. It's not even your house. Your parents are being supportive to you by letting you stay. Why shouldn't your brother get their same support? Pretty entitled of you, in my opinion." Demeter_Todarchev said, "OP must have some kind of leverage, maybe helping with bills, rent, mortgage. Otherwise, it makes no sense." That's what I'm saying. I don't get it. Is it even your house? Yeah, for real, maybe OP's just got their own stuff to juggle and can't take on extra bills right now. Been there myself, and sometimes supporting family means helping in other ways, not just opening your door. No-category 505 said, "Yep, family love shouldn't come with guilt tripping." Particular_cycled 9667 says, "Honestly, I'm a bit confused and a bit torn. It affects OP's mental health, which will affect the job and being able to keep it. On that part, I feel like the brother is out of luck and that OP shouldn't have to sacrifice their mental health and suffer because their brother got divorced. The other half of me feels sorry for the brother, and if it is in fact the parents' house and OP has no ties to it, like not paying mortgage, not paying rent is not paying anything. I don't think OP gets to decide who can stay at the house, so this has me confused as to why the parents would even have to pressure OP. Then there's an aspect that OP is willing to help the brother find an apartment, find a roommate, and all that, well, OP is willing to do that and even help pay a little bit for rent. That's better than getting nothing and should be grateful if in fact OP gets to decide who lives at the house. But if OP is not in charge of that, then yeah, I completely get why R would want to just move back into the house for comfort to be close to his parents after everything. But again, on the other side, beggars can't be choosers. But if, in fact, OP is not in charge of who can be at the house and has the money to rent an apartment, then why doesn't OP get their own place where they will feel safe, their health won't be affected by the stay, and they will be able to keep their job and just let the parents allow R to move back in? All of this has me like a seesaw because I can't understand how OP has any power on who gets to live in the house. See that? Yeah, you covered basically all the bases I did. So, yeah, I wish they'd get back on here and give us an update or some freaking clarity or something. Okay, Bluebird, let me see if there's anything else posted by this person down below, but I'm not seeing anything so far. Yeah, what the fuck? It's not even your house. Yeah. Everybody's saying it's not your house, you're the jerk. Like, seriously, if your parents say let them move in and it's their house, like that's how it's gonna go. But if it is your house and you're paying the bills and, you know, whatever, the parents may be moved out and I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Moving on. Effective born 1958. Am I the jerk for refusing to co-sign my brother's car loan after he ignored my advice? My younger brother, 25 male, asked me, 31 female, to co-sign a car loan because his credit isn't great. I told him I wasn't comfortable doing that. I've worked hard to build my credit and I know he's missed payments before. He called me dramatic and said he'd prove he could handle it. A month later, he bought an expensive used car anyway through one of those buy here, pay here dealerships. 20% interest, ridiculous payments. Now he's 2 months behind and called me crying, asking me to finance it in my name so he can start fresh. I said no again. He called me selfish and said family helps family. Our mom says I'm being too harsh and should help him get back on track, but I feel like this is exactly what I was trying to avoid. Am I the jerk? I don't think so. It's hard to raise your credit and keep it good, you know, and he needs to learn that for himself. Grow up, be a big boy. You'll be a big boy. Get a job, pay your own bills. If your parents are so worried about it, why don't they co-sign for him? I mean, have they already and now their credit sucks? I don't know. But no, I don't think you're the jerk. Caramel Fan says, not the asshole. Nobody should ever co-sign anything for anybody. Tell mom she's family. She can help him. See, that's what I'm saying. Grim Spirit 42 says, I have 2 daughters. One I co-signed a car for because I knew she was responsible to the point that it was very unlikely she'd ever miss a payment. She didn't. The other I'm not sure is responsible enough for me to co-sign on a Snickers bar. Oh my. A Snickers bar even. Discussion after 5324 says, generally speaking, those who need a cosigner are by definition not responsible. Edit, at least one lender has determined the person is a poor credit risk. Try at least 2. There are exceptions. Armed with Jello says, My husband and I are self-employed. We didn't qualify for a mortgage because lenders want to see a long-term employer, not business records. His parents co-signed for us and we never missed a payment. Loved a Jackass said, my mom co-signed a bank loan to tide me over from the semester. My grant project ended in January until I got hired as full-time faculty in August. Fantasy-Library 0710 says, yes, or people starting out with no credit sometimes need a co-signer. Yeah. Well, I don't think you're the jerk. I think he needs to build his own credit, and if your parents feel so strongly about it, they need to be the ones co-signing. I don't know why you should be thrown under the bus. Alright. National-Bag-7401. Am I the jerk for canceling a trip after my boyfriend secretly invited his ex because she knows the area? My boyfriend, 28 male, and I, 27 female, planned a 3-day trip to a coastal town. I booked the Airbnb, mapped the itinerary, and took time off work. 2 days before we were supposed to leave, I overheard him on the phone saying, yeah, just meet us at the pier. She won't mind. You know the area better than anyone. Turns out he invited his ex, the girl he dated for 5 years, because she grew up in that town and could show us the best spots. He didn't tell me because he knew I'd overreact. I told him I'm canceling the whole trip and not paying for the Airbnb cancellation fee. He said I'm being insecure and dramatic, and his ex is basically a tour guide at this point. His mom even texted me saying I should trust him more. I canceled the trip anyway. Am I the jerk? I don't know. I kind of would have been curious and maybe go and see if there's any energy or anything like that between the two still. And why are they even still talking? Why is he still talking to his ex? It's not like they have kids together or something. Else the world said, not the jerk, ick, dump. Yeah, it's such a red flag. Yeah, you deserve better than that. You don't need that jerk. He's obviously doing shit behind your back. That's very disrespectful. What? Someone down here said... Bosun's Punch said, this is an AI post, and you, National-Bag-7401, is a bot. Here's how to spot an AI bot post. Wow, just wow says, every time you find an AI-generated story, give it a downvote and move on. Enough people do this often enough and AI stories will go away. Hopefully because family helps family, don't comment or vote, don't engage the content at all. What? So this is a fake story? Yeah. That is so lame. What? I don't know. Fake. Disregard. Why does AI have to ruin everything? Man. Tricky-drama-960. Am I the jerk for refusing to host Thanksgiving after my brother's family treated my house like a hotel last year? Every year, my family rotates who hosts Thanksgiving. Last year, it was my turn. I, 33 female, live with my husband and 2 kids. My brother, 35 male, his wife, and their 3 kids stayed with us for 4 days. I cleaned the house top to bottom, bought all the groceries, cooked almost everything, and they just treated the place like an Airbnb. Towels left on the floor, dishes piled up, kids drawing on the walls literally, and not a single "can I help" from either adult. When they left, my couch cushions were stained, there was crayon on the dining table, and I found a half-eaten turkey leg under my bed. No apology, no cleanup, no offer to reimburse me for the $500 plus that I spent on food. So when my mom asked if I was hosting again this year, I said absolutely not. My brother overheard and got offended, saying I'm holding a grudge over family. I told him I'm not his maid, and that if he wants a family Thanksgiving, he can host. Now my mom says I'm making this awkward and that it's just one messy weekend, but I'm honestly still annoyed, especially since no one ever acknowledged how much work it was for me. Am I the jerk for saying no to this year? I don't think so. You did it last year. It's not your freaking turn. People are so disrespectful. Beginning-loan-3252 says, not the jerk. You're not holding a grudge. You're learning from experience. Hosting is stressful enough without having to parent other adults. If your brother and his wife want to enjoy Thanksgiving, they can host or rent a hotel. You're not a hotel, and family is not equal to free labor. El Guapo, 1996, says, why did the brother immediately suggest OP was holding a grudge? Because he already knew his behavior last year was unacceptable? If he thought it was acceptable or appropriate, he would have wondered why OP was adamant about not hosting Thanksgiving again. He's the jerk and he knows he is. Yeah, Fried Lipstick says, also, why did the rotation suddenly stop? Can't be OP's turn again this year. OP, you don't owe them anything. In fact, you're in your rights to never host them again. So true. So very true. Powerful B, 1845 said, it stops when they find a sucker. Yep, this would have been my question to Mom. Why are we fixating on my place? I hosted last year. Someone else's turn to step up to the plate. That's what rotation means. And walk away. Oh, Basic Visual 6221 says, this is fake. There was an almost identical post recently. Wow. Yep. It's just ruining everything. Alright, this is by gimme_a_break_forever. Am I the jerk for being honest about my coworker's mistake? So I'm going to be very specific. Every day, our manager counts money in the cash register twice. In the morning and in the evening. People who work in retail know what I'm talking about. It was right in the morning and in the evening we were missing 4 to 5K. What? I remembered one interaction with a slimy dude, really slimy. I saw a cap and thick cash stack in his hands and knew he was trouble. The dude said, I've got 500 in bills. Let's exchange if you have 5,000 in bills. I immediately told them to cut it out. My coworker said, yeah, let's do the money exchange. We have 10K anyway. Even though I asked them not to, they went and did the exchange even though the guy was shady and acting weird the whole time. I told them to recount, aka told them to use the calculator. They shut me down with, fuck off, I know what I'm doing. You guessed it. That cash register was missing 4 to 5K in the evening. I immediately knew what it was. I said, okay, I think I know what's wrong. I found the moment on the camera. I zoomed in on his hands and played the recording in slow motion. I counted without moving the bills, tricking the naked eye and brain into believing he counted enough of them. I showed it to the director, and the man either fucks in the eye or doesn't know where to look. He looked through the whole recording of the day. Nobody fucked up with any cash purchases that day, and the only fucking thing that could be the reason why we were missing 4 to 5K was that guy scamming my coworker. The director chalked it up to us all being at fault, and we all had to chip in for the missing cash. Fuck that. And my coworker was apparently mad because I said everything I knew about the incident and was super emotional about it, even started accusing me of being the one taking it. Like soap opera kind of dramatic, the way Mean Girls talk to the lame protagonists in a kid TV show. I don't know why they are mad. I don't know what I did wrong. They won't tell me. I don't feel like I did anything wrong. I asked about this because I'm on the autistic spectrum with bad understanding of human emotion and how normal people think. And the coworker is always being cynical around me, and I honestly don't understand what they want from me in any aspect. Yeah, I would not pay into that whatsoever. And that's illegal for your boss to do that. I would probably report it to the police because I believe anything over $1,000 is considered a felony. But yeah, I don't think you're the asshole or the jerk. Powerful-B-1845 said, OP, you do not have to make up drawer shortages by law, but they can fire you. Zesty Clothes-Height-36 said, Nigeria does not have labor protections like yours. Also, there is a good chance your coworker was in on it, and you should refuse exchanges always from now on and remind coworkers how you all had to pay. Horny Raven 206 said, not the asshole, mate. Straight up, your coworker frigged up and didn't listen to reason. Sorry, but handling cash transaction ain't rocket science. That slimy dude played your workmate, pulling a fast one right in front of their arrogant nose. They got mad because their pride got bruised, and it's easier to blame you than accept their own mistake. Stand tall, you didn't do anything wrong, and rest in peace, 4.5K, gone, but never forgotten. Oh, Wondering Me said the cashier was in on it. Yep, makes sense. Smell-like-a-troll said, not the asshole, I would have recorded that video and absolutely refused to take part in replacing the money. A cashier shouldn't be responsible for a customer's theft when they said not to do the transaction and did not do it. At worst, the person doing the transaction should be liable if the transaction is outside the normal scope of business. I would not hesitate to quit over such bullshit. Seriously. I would not pay them shit. Oh yeah, and go try to take my check, and I will take your ass to court and get like 10 times more than that. Particular dash or underscore cycle 9667 said, oh, I think I know why they were so mad. One or two reasons. One, they didn't like being conned, or they were in on it. Lavender Kitty 1 said, not the jerk, but your business should have protocols in place to avoid that much cash being in the till, and the operator shouldn't be able to handle that amount without a second person or supervisor there confirming the amount. And you and your colleagues shouldn't have to cover the shortfall from your pocket. Yeah, I think we're all on the same page here. I call bullshit. Let's see. Well, boys and girls, it looks like it's time for our first music break. On this break, we got the lovely and talented Miss Tamra Bubble from the greater New York area with Cute Panties, Laundry, Out the Mud. And then we have Fluid. And I believe he's from California. I'm going to have to look that up again. I looked it up a couple weeks ago and found out where it was. But he's going to be singing I Love It. And then Griff with Best Life. Griff is from Toronto, Canada. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
Bubble on that. Yeah. Real cute. Underwear. To be honest, I don't really wear many. I don't even really rock panties. Let me be clear, I'm used to getting a few new big pair each year from my granny. Couple sexy ones that might come off, and I done had way too much Henny. A drunk text go out. They come and eat the sweet juicy pie down there. I'ma go that route. But now, nigga, wrong song. I only need a couple of bars to turn you on. That's why I started mentioning that lingerie, but pull her to the studio with some long john. This verse about to take a turn for the worse, and all them cute panties gonna be long gone. Cause the hating niggas that I wrote it for, they ain't afraid of wordplay, that's why they wrote this for. So I'ma drive them wild. Thinking one day they might hit all about my voice shorts, G-strings, slutty thongs, even put them edible pennies on the cover so they wonder how that bubble tastes. You can stay mad, be miserable, old, predictable, maybe not even applicable. But yeah, you typical. Check your mans if it ain't you, cause way too many queens rocking shades cause they eyes black and blue. Way too many dudes putting hands on the bra. That make you feel like a man. Mishandling a weaker vessel, yeah, you saw. Yo, look, it's way too many dudes only wanna spar. But ain't got no conversation, only wanna gossip when we talk. Why I keep seeing these grown dudes out in the broad daylight like some broad? And why I keep seeing these dudes like these girls fighting on the stopper to record? These little niggas online, the worst part, lame hoes got a squad. And all they do is just like the females doing interviews with that nigga blog. I be like, come in, big boy, take off them drawers. I just came from shopping, let me slip you into something real soft. You prefer the lace of satin or the silk, cause some pretty little rolls, they gon' hang off your balls. Look at you, sitting pretty, yeah. You the type that rock them cute pennies, yeah. Come here, you cute, yeah. Real cute, you hating on a female, cute, real cute. Why you mad we getting money? Maybe that's why you sag like them bunny shout. Oh, by the way, cute pennies, bro, real cute. Grown man, big boss, taking shots from a penthouse love. Talking trash, he making big calls. Yep, then again, that's only till his phone got off. Come again, yeah, his phone got disconnected. But don't worry, he be back online hating in a second. Back at the crib, remember she paid her phone and the rent. Squashy nigga, vegetable soft. Now he souped up in my mentions on some vegetable, bro. Leaving comment at the comment, you that thirsty, drink vomit. I promise I ain't never seen nobody when had so much time to hate me. Be honest, is you mad at me? Or the fact that I'm grinding? It's a fact that I'm winning, son, I really be shining. Why you pressed on my diamond? You ready to swing on this little bitty girl, so don't tell me I'm lying. Way too many dudes putting hands on the bra. That make you feel like a man. Mishandling a weaker vessel, yeah, you saw. Yo, look, it's way too many dudes only wanna spar. But ain't got no conversation, only wanna gossip when we talk. Why I keep seeing these grown dudes out in the broad daylight like some broad? Why I keep seeing these dudes like these girls fighting on the stopper to record? These little niggas online, the worst part, lame hoes got a squad. And all they do is just like the females doing interviews with that nigga blog. I be like, come in, big boy, take off them drawers. I just came from shopping, let me slip you into something real soft. You prefer the lace of satin or the silk, cause some pretty little rolls, they gon' hang off your balls. Look at you, sitting pretty, yeah. You the type that rock them cute pennies, yeah. Come here, you cute, yeah. Real cute, you hating on a female, cute, real cute. Why you mad we getting money? Maybe that's why you sag like them bunny shout. Oh, by the way, cute pennies, bro, real cute.
I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. Do you and live your best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. Where you from? Who you with? Are you unplanned? Are you equipped? I do my thing, stay legit. In this world, no one's innocent. VIP, get bottles. One snap of my fingertips. See these haters like blah blah blah, blah 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 blah, talking gibberish. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. Do you and live your best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. Rolling and rolling and rolling SUV. Rolling and rolling and rolling with my homies. Rolling and rolling and rolling SUV. Rolling and rolling and rolling with my homies. I'm going to live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm going to live my best life. Do you live your best life? Do you live your best life? Do you live your best life? I'm going to live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm going to live my best life. Do you live your best life? Do you live your best life? Do you live your best life? I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my head ain't right. Do you and live your best life. Don't care if my head ain't right.
Hey, get up on that washer. Hit the spin cycle till I come home. Don't worry where I'm at. I'm out here breadwinning, so don't hit my phone. Shoulda never gave you treats like that. You got a sweet tooth and won't leave me alone. And every time I try to get some sleep, I wake up cause you doing me wrong. Sneaking up under covers. Used to fight it, but I love it. Hate it that you got me weak, cause now we ruin all these sheets. Like who doing laundry? Who doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Keep playing, think I'm playing. I'ma have you doing them dishes too. Better lick them plates clean. Be grateful for this delicious food. Why you want no fours? What you scrubbing floors cause you want some more? But you like it dirty. You is so dirty. You like it dirty. Sneaking up under covers. Used to fight it, but I love it. Hate it that you got me weak, cause now we ruin all these sheets. Like who doing laundry? Who doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Sneaking up under covers. Used to fight it, but I love it. Hate it that you got me weak, cause now we ruin all these sheets. Like who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? First of all, I was sleeping. And second of all, why you creeping? Third of all up on me, rubbing like conditioner that you be trying to leave in. Relax, love, keep breathing. And I would say keep cleaning, but you like it dirty. You is so dirty. You like it dirty. Sneaking up under covers. Used to fight it, but I love it. Hate it that you got me weak, cause now we ruin all these sheets. Like who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Get up on that washer. Hit the spin cycle till I come home. Don't worry where I'm at. I'm out here breadwinning, so don't hit my phone. Shoulda never gave you treats like that. You got a sweet tooth and won't leave me alone. And every time I try to get some sleep, I wake up cause you doing me wrong. Sneaking up under covers. Used to fight it, but I love it. Hate it that you got me weak, cause now we ruin all these sheets. Like who doing laundry? Who doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Sneaking up under covers. Used to fight it, but I love it. Hate it that you got me weak, cause now we ruin all these sheets. Like who doing laundry? Who doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Sneaking up under covers. Yeah, cause you like it dirty. You are so dirty. You like it dirty, yeah? Up under covers.
Yeah, she like it dirty. You're so dirty. You like it dirty, yeah?
Hand. I'm ballin', making buckets back to back like I was Stephan. Better yet, I'm Phil Jackson, so don't treat me like the next man. And I'm kind of a real big deal, so don't be out here second guessing. Anyway, I make my pay and live this California lifestyle. Sunshine, loud packs, and chicks that love to get wild. That's how we do it every day. Slipping, sliding through the traffic on a mission for the day. Clearing marks about my way. Really got no time for y'all today. And all the craziness y'all talk, but never get your story straight. See me out here living great. I don't give a about all that hate. And when it comes to kicking game, I give you all that you can take. Trying to do it big, got no complaints. Every morning eating steak. They say I'm wrong for showing out, but I'ma do it anyway. Plus and thing ain't nothing bitch, cause I can do it any day. And it don't matter where I go, I always represent the yay. I'm so in love with this lifestyle. Anything I want, I say the word, I get it right now. Boppers used to hate me, now they tell me I'm tight now. Swagger through the roof, got everybody on my height now. So in love with this lifestyle. I love it, and I love it, and I love it. So in love with this lifestyle. I love it, anything I want, I say the word, I get it right now. See me, I'm out here getting it and loving how I live. Best believe if I do something, I'm a stupid, do it big. And this hustling is my gig, so don't you ask me what I stand for. Stacking while I'm macking, trying to earn myself a couple Lambos. Yeah, you know them toys for them big boys. Emperor of sorts and all you other players decoys. Meaning you're not the real deal. Keep an appetite for dollars that I never miss a meal. All you suckers need to chill. I'm just trying to stack a meal and pull the baddest bras around and love shorty sex appeal. Little bit of Netflix, then we chill. Lose them clothes, keep on them heels. Working like a 9 to 5 and go right back to chasing skrill. I bring that real, never that phony. BS, y'all be stressing, put it down just like an OG. Perform these cookies, take flight. Some of y'all just out here acting. I'm a boss in real life. I'm so in love with this lifestyle. Anything I want, I say the word, I get it right now. Boppers used to hate me, now they tell me I'm tight now. Swagger through the roof, got everybody on my height now. So in love with this lifestyle. I love it, and I love it, and I love it. So in love with this lifestyle. Anything I want, I say the word, I get it right now. Keep it more 100 than a C note. Hall of Fame spitting, representing with these pimp quotes. Don't try to front, you know this shit's dope. Question is, will I ever fail? My answer is no. I make this hustling look amazing. Put it down doper than a blunt of purple hazing. Spicy on the mic, I bring the fire like a Cajun. Scovilles, making haters sweat when I be blazing. Leaning to the side, haters everywhere. Yeah, I hear them talking, but they simply wasting air. Can't understand the reason that they stay in my affairs. But I'm major with my movements, getting money everywhere. I'm so in love with this lifestyle. Anything I want, I say the word, I get it right now. Boppers used to hate me, now they tell me I'm tight now. Swagger through the roof, got everybody on my height now. So in love with this lifestyle. I love it, and I love it, and I love it. So in love with this lifestyle. Anything I want, I say the word, I get it right now. So in love with this lifestyle. I love it, and I love it, and I love it. So in love with this lifestyle. Anything I want, I say the word, I get it right now.
Somebody pinch me, this is juicy, juicy. Squeeze out this one glow.
Welcome back, and thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. All right, well, I think we're done with Am I the Jerk? And we're going to move right on over to Am I the Devil? Oh, wow. All right. This one is by... Oh. It said a different name on the... Yeah, Mr. Raven Nation 1. And then when you click on it... Oh, that's relationship advice. I see. Am I the devil? I was forced to abandon my family. How can I, 39 male, win my wife back, 40 female? My wife, Destiny, and I are not in a traditional marriage in the sense we are not even officially married anymore. We put off a front for our daughters, 8 female and 5 female. We had a great marriage, but unfortunately her friend Shannon, someone we both trusted, took advantage of me and ruined our marriage. 6 years ago, I was going through a midlife crisis. I felt my wife didn't understand me. I barely had me time, and my wife wanted another baby, but I wasn't ready. I didn't express this to my wife and was just enjoying the sex like an idiot, but then she got pregnant again. I was extremely depressed because I didn't want another kid. I think Shannon picked up on this and saw a potential victim. My wife didn't notice I was depressed, and I felt unseen. Shannon and I began an affair, and I eventually left my wife for Shannon. I see now how Shannon was incredibly manipulative and abusive towards me. She had us move 6 hours away from my little girls, and because of Shannon, I went almost 3 years without seeing my little girls. I missed my second daughter's birth and saw her once in 2 years. I ended things with Shannon after she ended up cheating on me. Oh. I moved back and wanted to be the father I should have been. I started seeing my kids more, and I wanted my wife back. Eventually, she came up with an arrangement that would be better for the kids. 1, we move in together and split bills. 2, we are not together, no kissing, no sex, etc. 3, I could sleep around / date as I please, but she doesn't want to hear about it unless it gets serious. 4, she will also sleep around, and that's her business. She has no interest in long-term relationships because she doesn't trust men or anyone now, but if that changes, she will tell me, because if she dates seriously, we gotta change our living arrangements. 5, this is my only second chance to be in the kid's life. She doesn't want me entering and exiting the kid's life as I please. If I enter, I stay in it and be a father. She doesn't realize the extent of Shannon's narcissistic behavior towards me because I wanted to see my daughters more than anything. 6, no one-on-one hangouts. We can do group family hangouts, but that's it. It's been a little over a year with this arrangement, and I realize how much I love and miss her. Just the little things. When I get off work, if she worked from home that day, I have a plate already made that I just need to heat up. Her genuine kindness towards me and the children. Every day I see the reason I fell in love with her in the first place. The other day, she was at the store and I mentioned needing another Texans jersey, and she bought me one. Freaking love her, but when I say let's try again, let's have a date, just the 2 of us, she shuts it down. Right now, she acts like that really nice coworker in the office who can tell is just a kind soul. I just want to have the privilege of being her husband again. Even friend. I love her from the bottom of my heart, and I hate that it got ruined because a narcissist preyed on me while I was going through a midlife crisis. Oh my goodness, have some accountability, dude. And if you really love her and you're willing to try to get her back in your life, doesn't matter if it takes 2 years or fucking 10 years. If you're really down, then be down, but otherwise, take it as it is and appreciate what you got. I don't know. Let's see what everybody else has to say. I find it interesting that he was being abused and couldn't see his children because of his evil AP, but the moment she cheated, he gained the strength to stand up to her. If I didn't know any better, I would think he intentionally abandoned his family and then came crying back when it blew up in his face. Yeah, like there was a gun to your head or something the whole time, forcing me to be a cheating deadbeat. Yeah. No accountability whatsoever. Leather Appearance 616 said he wasn't even responsible for his partner's pregnancy. Why, there he is innocently enjoying unprotected sex when suddenly, out of the blue, she fetches up pregnant. Add to that, his 2-year-old wouldn't let him have me time, so naturally when a predator showed up and groomed him, he was a wee vulnerable lad, ripe for kidnapping. Luckily, he escaped his abuser while she was feasting on the future corpse of her next victim. And speaking of feast, why isn't his ex gently warming plates of his dinner anymore, guys? Icy Climate 5755 says, when people are hard on trying to paint their ex as a narcissist and don't take accountability for their own actions, it just screams to me that they themselves are the narcissist. Right? Totally feel you there, woman. The Death Flower says, this is a story where having the ex-wife's point of view would be amazing because OP doesn't sound like a reliable narrator. Everything is someone else's fault, even now that he's allegedly full of regrets and he still finds a way to blame his wife for the affair because she didn't see my depression. Oh. Toby, the demon, says, yeah, he should have called the police on her for kidnapping him. How else would he have missed his daughter's birth and not seen his children for years at a time? Right? My throwaway _OK, not once did he take accountability for his actions. It was all Shannon. The wife is gracious enough for even living with this man. Seriously. Oh, Lily29tail says, that's what I noticed. Zero accountability. He takes no ownership of his behavior at all. Somehow he thinks he is the victim. This man has no business raising kids and educating them in how to behave. Absolutely, like, what a terrible example for his kids. Bad advice from Spider said, this ex-wife is nuts to cohabitate with this pustule. But I know only 2 so far, but I don't get out a lot. But 2 ex-married couples that kept the same house just so the kids could be with both of them. And any shenanigans that they had of their own, they would never bring it home. So, yeah, I don't know if I could do that, but kudos to those that can. I don't know. It's pretty cool. Narek Mitch said, she also could be thinking this is the only way to get child support if she plays this game with him, since I doubt he contributed anything in the 2 years he was gone. Lenore Evermore said, he also went 3 years without seeing his children because his girlfriend made him. So I would imagine she just wants her kids to have their father in their life. Also, it's easier to live with children with somebody else. It doesn't sound like he's adding more work on her plate, and it's easier to have someone else in the home so you don't have to think about babysitting for going to the store, etc. Yep, good. Kajit, Kajit, I don't know, says, see, my ex and my fiance have been kicking this idea around. There's no jealousy or hard feelings between my ex and I. I realized I was a lesbian. There's not really any messiness in that. We can see that it hurts the kids to have to split their time between us. It makes life more complicated for everyone. Things would be cheaper with just one household versus two separate ones struggling to stay afloat, which means more money for more extras for the kids. The more we think about it, the more we're all like, this seems to be the most sense for everyone, as unconventional as it is. That said, I wouldn't do it with this man, a man who has zero accountability, a man who abandoned his kids, a man who cheated. This idea could work when everyone is 100% on the kids come first. This guy clearly never put the kids first and still isn't, because he's risking blowing up the situation to be like, wait, I'm actually still in love with you. Those poor kids deserve so much better than us. Yeah. Let's move on to the next one, shall we? I was forced to abandon my family. That's just craziness. Okay. Okay, what the heck? Dude posts 4 times, starts to blame wife. Oh. The post has been locked, and the post has been deleted. Okay. Wow. Why do they keep putting deleted ones up here? That's crazy. Alright. Am I the devil? The title is Female Privilege. The name of the person who wrote it has been deleted. It says, I am a transgender woman and I can say female privilege is real. Before transition, I was seen as a monster. People didn't like me. I wasn't being hired by jobs. No one wanted to date me, and I flunked college. After transition, people started seeing me as a good person. People actually like my presence. I get hired. I dated someone and I got accepted in a top college in my country. My personality didn't change, only my gender. I actually think no one really likes being a man. Edit, the people who say I ain't a real trans woman or are more disgusting than the transphobic comments. HRT since 12/1/2024 and social transition since 9/8/2024. Birth certificate updated. I use algestone, acetaminophen, and estradiol enanthate. Okay. I don't understand. I am not even gonna get into that, because now people are going off about race and everything underneath that one. No, thank you. Uh-oh. He_boss_1889. Alright. OP served party spoiled food on purpose. Will my entire party get sick from eating my mashed potatoes? So, I made a bunch of mashed potatoes with milk, sour cream, and cheese last night and seemed to have forgotten about the crucial step of refrigeration. This is a question about any possible outcomes of those who indulge in these delicious but slightly tart mashed potatoes. They were only on the countertop for 10-ish hours before I refrigerated them for 8, then reheated for the party. If you were wondering how they taste, I've been asked multiple times if I added lemon juice. Am I cooked? one sec known as "You Can't Eat at Everybody's House," and it's got like little music notes around it. Seriously, this is why I'm skeptical of potlucks and similar. This dumb fuck could literally kill people. Even if no one dies, you still don't want people puking their guts up either. Just go to the grocery store and buy some replacement mashed potatoes. All of the fancy pants. The worst food poisoning I ever got was right after a potluck. If I'd had health insurance at the time, I would have gone to the ER because I was firing from both ends for almost 3 solid days. Holy shnikes. Thank God for roommates willing to go get me Pedialyte and Gatorade for when I could eventually keep some things down late on the 3rd day. Beneficial Produce 56 said, "Whoa, oh. You can't eat at everybody's house. Potatoes are bad. Your guts are sad. You can't eat at everybody's house." Silver McFly says, "Let alone potatoes, those bastards cooked in the best conditions all perfectly only keep like 2.5 days under refrigeration. They're not something to be trifled with. They catch a bad vibe in the room and they're going bad, let alone being left out to condensate for 10 hours and become the world's best petri dish." Thin_firefighter_675. I am speechless. I edited my comment because I realized now people were saying the potatoes tasted sour. Oops, LOL. Yeah, he did not put lemon juice in it. Nolan Lod said, "I left a smoothie out by mistake. Unlike this moron, I said it was out too long, 8 hours, and the hospital bill would exceed the cost of the smoothie." Gingachu says, "We all know someone who is way too lax on food safety because they haven't gotten sick yet, but I'm just not a gambler. I'm not betting $10 worth of meat against almost dying and a $25,000 in medical bills." Weekly Conversation 8 says, "Do they hate their friends? Why would you serve spoiled food?" Yeah. Evil Finch. "I'm really lazy at cooking, but mashed potatoes are made so easy. Why couldn't OOP just made new one? They make themselves nearly alone. And it seems like OOP didn't taste test them before or eat them, since all they said that others comment about if lemon was added, not, yeah, it tastes a little sour, but yeah, not good." Tyra Goen said, "This is worse than the person who posted a photo of the cake they baked with a cat paw print on it asking, 'Can I still serve this to my guests?' At least that person asked the internet beforehand." Donnie Dusko says, "So my mom made cheesecake for Thanksgiving, and the final step is that you turn off the oven but have the door open and it's still sitting on the rack so it can fall back into place. She made it on Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and I also had a school concert that night, so she timed it perfectly so it could rest while she took me to concert. What she did not account for was our fat-ass love him, but he was a gluttonous golden retriever who had no one around and a cheesecake basically served up on a platter. He ate everything he could reach. She stayed up so late making another one, it was like 2.5-hour cook time, then the cooling process. Do you think he was sorry? Nope. He came to the door to greet us when we got back from the concert with a cheesecake mustache and thought we wouldn't notice. Yes, he was very proud of himself. Look what I did. Oh, that was not me. I did not do that. Oh, no. All right. Oh, you have a tattoo, what I want. Okay, you wills up in 30. You have to tattoo what I want. Am I the asshole for telling my sister that her tattoo theme doesn't matter and that she's being childish by putting that over family. Okay. So I, 19 female, have an older sister, Vicky, 24 female, who has a lot of tattoos. She's very purposeful about her tattoos and has them all in the same theme. All of them are nature, plants, animals, and I think she calls it an engraving style or something, but basically they're all in the same style and all are nature things. So me and her are really close, and now that I'm old enough and have saved up enough, I want to get a matching tattoo with her. She's down for the idea. I spent several days finding matching sister tattoos on Instagram and TikTok and whatever, and on Saturday I sat down with her to go through and pick which one we should do. She looked through all of them and then said she wasn't going to do any of them because they don't match her style. I got upset and asked her, why can't we just do one tattoo that doesn't match her style? She said even one tattoo would throw off her entire scheme, which upset me. I asked her if she was really putting a theme over family loyalty, and she said I was being stupid, and that because I said that, she wasn't going to continue this conversation anymore. I tried to complain to my mom, but she doesn't care about tattoos that much, and our dad doesn't like them at all, so neither of them were any help. So am I the asshole? I can provide more details if necessary. Well, you can't make somebody put on their body what they don't want. All right, let's see. I don't know. I wouldn't say you're an asshole, but you could find something along the lines of more her style. Like the tattoo I was going to get with my sister was going to be a butterfly. So each one of us, like on one person's right foot, there would be one half of the butterfly, and on the other person's left foot would be the other half. So when you stood next to each other, you'd have the whole butterfly. You could have done something like that. Like, what did you pick? I'm curious. I'm quite curious. Okay. Over interaction 168 says, you're the asshole. You know what she liked and you didn't even consider looking at that design. It's also awful to expect someone to put something they don't like on their skin. Either choose a design she likes, get matching jewelry or something, or do something like getting the same flower, animal, or whatever in different styles, so at least that's the same. Of course, that's if she still wants to do anything with you, because if you were my sister, I wouldn't at this point. Love said, very much the asshole. Entire North said, yes, you're the asshole. You think your choice is more important than hers. You do not sound mature enough to make a decision for something you will have on your body forever. Bop 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 doo wop said, you're the asshole. Keep searching or come up with your own design together that matches her theme. You do not get to dictate what she permanently has inked on her body just because you're family. Seething Heathen says, oh, and they're an asshole aficionado, it says, you're the asshole. You don't get to dictate what someone else does with their own body. You're the one putting the tattoo over family. Right? On the outside looking in, you're still young. You just don't know. Crate 88 says, a matching tattoo is family loyalty? Give me a break. If that's true, why don't you have some loyalty yourself and cater to her theme Seems better than trying to guilt her into a tattoo she doesn't want. You're the asshole. Will you wear wigs? 200 says. You're the asshole. I love matching tattoos. My bestie and I have one, but we also have much different styles. We spent years tossing around ideas until we found one that matched our styles and friendship. If she was going for an overall theme, example, her theme of hyper-realistic Gothic architecture would look odd next to a fine line flower that's going to be on your bodies forever. Sit down together, talk through what style she likes and what styles you like. There will be a middle ground somewhere that will still mix with her style and what style you like. The amateur said, You're the asshole. Why would you dictate what someone does to their body? If you don't compromise, she just won't do it. You sound very immature. See, that's what I was saying, like, you're now finally old enough to get a tattoo, but you still got some growing to do. Yeah. Wait a few years and come back. Hopefully your sister's mature enough to not hold this against you and get past it at some point, but you're not going to win on this one. Let's see how much time we got. We got some time. Okay, Clint McElroy official. Abandoned her daughter for 7+ years. I need her 38. So this is him sharing somebody else's thing, I guess. Court terminated my parental rights and gave custody to my sister. Any way I can fight this? My husband and I lost custody of our daughter to my sister. Our parental rights were terminated on the grounds of abandonment. I left my daughter in care of my sister back in 2013. My husband was offered a job outside of country, but I did not want to take my daughter along because she has medical issues and had just started school. We had a guardianship agreement and we were supposed to come back to the US the following year. However, my husband's contract was extended, so we stayed. The custody battle started in 2016 when my sister tried to receive government aid for my daughter. I was ordered to pay child support, which I happily did. My sister wasn't satisfied with that and petitioned for custody again in 2018. They terminated our rights this year. They claimed we abandoned her because we had not seen her since 2013, and paying child support did not count as being part of her life. I really want my daughter back, and we plan on coming back home to the US either late this year or early 2022 for certain. Is there any way I can regain custody of my daughter? Alabama/UK. I don't know, buddy. You sound screwed there, but if you have the money to get a lawyer, you could fight it for long enough and it could work out for you in the long run, but I don't know, really just what is the word I'm looking for? It just varies, like, I don't know. Could eventually get them, but I don't know. I don't know. And it's like, how come you couldn't come back and visit or whatever? I don't get it. Sounds pretty shitty. I couldn't do it. Oh man. Anarcho-Crim said, you need to consult a lawyer ASAP. You should know in advance that this is, oh crap, where'd it go? What? You should know in advance that it is nearly impossible to regain parental rights once they've been terminated, unless there were serious errors made during the process. The fact that you haven't seen your daughter in 8 years and permanently relocated overseas without her strongly supports your sister's claim of child abandonment. Usually, Sonny, said, "Was your husband doing utterly critical humanitarian or scientific work that nobody else could do? Were you in a country where there was absolutely no way your child could get an education or medical care? Seriously." I could see, like, okay, go ahead and finish this school year, and then we'll send for you this summer, and then we'll get you registered, blah, blah, blah. Like, nothing you said about why you didn't bring her didn't sound very legitimate. They have doctors, they have schools. I just don't get it. Like, if it were a violent place, unsafe place, or whatever, I could see that, but should you be there as well if that were the case? I don't know. You could have come and visited or sent for her after that school year. All right. Someone who is deleted said, "You need a family law attorney. How old was your daughter at the time, and how old is she now? Presumably 8 years older than she was, and if she just started school, she's at least 13. At 13, your sister has been her mother most of her life, and courts rule in the best interest of the child more so than the rights of desires of adults. Be prepared that a court may rule that it is not the child's best interest to lose the parent she knows and who has raised her. Seriously, you sound very selfish, and I say you are the asshole. You're an asshole. Sorry, not sorry. You're an asshole, Leo. OP plus comments dive into devil territory. Cookie Hope 224 shared this. Alright. Visited the other divorce subs and I'm shocked. Reddit divorce men and Reddit divorce dads are all about support, trying to cope with huge changes in your future, understanding what you did wrong and how you could have made better choices, improving yourself and your outlook, and comforting and supporting those who are struggling emotionally, being deprived of their future life and or children. Even if you discount the blatant misogyny in those other subs, the contents is just completely different. How stupid, selfish, or lazy the husband is, and therefore how any action is justifiable. How the wife is thinking of divorce for ridiculous reasons and seeking justification or some pity party about how the wife's choice in divorce is coming back to bite them with self-doubt, the other woman, or their struggle for financial stability. I'm not saying these things aren't true, but it's a shocking comparison, the different attitudes expressed in them. It's easy to just say, it's a hellscape. But how much of this is a reflection of the attitudes of the average woman? Clearly there's a self-selecting subset which post here for help, and I imagine it's more bitter women than average and more men trying to find support, which is more rare. It feels like the red pill type psychology. It could be true. It might be how the world works, but it's not a world I want to participate in at all. It makes me extremely wary for any future relationship. Okay. So, I don't understand. What is the question here? Just do you for now. Don't be worrying about the future. Worry about now. Worry about improving yourself, loving yourself, etc. Don't be looking to a future relationship or even thinking about that at this point. Seriously. Yeah, that's enough of that. Am I the devil? Yeah, I don't know. Like, can we get some actual post? Like, why is it sharing other people's shit? What is this? Okay. Let's go to top. A helpful flamingo. Seems like there are multiple devils. This is a father still who posted this. Our disabled daughter was neglected by her teacher and no one told us until it was too late. Our daughter is nonverbal, wheelchair bound, and fully aware of everything around her. She's always gone to school because we wanted her to have friends, stimulation, and as normal a life as possible. One year, she suddenly became withdrawn and depressed. We checked the school several times, and every time she looked fine with other kids doing activities or outside during recess. We assumed the problem was medical or emotional. Then summer came, she bounced back, and we had no idea why. Then, while shopping for supplies for the new school year, we ran into the teacher's aide from last year. After we talked for a few minutes, she became upset and said that she needed to tell something. She said she couldn't live with herself if she stayed quiet. Our daughter had been left in the corner of the classroom all day. Wheelchair brakes locked so she couldn't move. She wasn't allowed to join the other kids for art, music, or group work. During recess, she was pushed outside only sometimes, and when she was left alone by the wall. The teacher hid all of this from us. Whenever she saw us coming, she rushed our daughter into the middle of whatever activity was happening to make it look like she was being included. The aide was emotional while telling us. I stood there shaking with rage. My daughter was abused right in front of us, and we never saw it. We immediately transferred her to a new school, and I told the entire administration exactly what had happened. I told them plainly that if anything like this ever happened again, I would sue the district and every individual responsible. Our daughter's new teacher had tears in her eyes as I explained what had been done. She promised to protect and include our daughter every day, and she kept her word. She's still a friend to us to this day. What still haunts me is this. If I hadn't had resources, connections, and allowed enough voice, the system would have buried this. Families without resources get steamrolled. It happens every day, and it nearly happened to us. Wow, that's really shitty. And you know what? I am blown away these days at parents abusing, neglecting, and killing their kids. Every day, there's more cases. It really just blows my mind. And then teachers that should not be teachers. Seriously, if you hate kids, if you don't want to be around kids, if you have issues with kids, you should not be working with kids. Go be, the office lady or something. Stay the heck away from kids. They need someone that's positive and supportive and not a fucking asshole. You are the asshole, I'll tell you what. Alright. So God Representative 33 said, I am so sorry. I'm a special education trained teacher working in mainstream. I work hard to integrate and include all kids in my classroom. What is blowing my mind away is what this woman would have done is harder than inclusion. She's actively gone out of her way to exclude. There's been so many failings here. Why did no one else report or see this sooner? This is at best neglect and at worst emotional abuse. I totally agree. And my son was in a class, oh my gosh, what is it called? Anyways, it was a class with disabled kids, and he's not disabled, but he was there to mentor and help and stuff. And then this year, it's a totally different class. It's not even the same. It's like a PE class or something. It's ridiculous because that's not what he signed up for. But anyways, there needs to be more stuff for disabled kids, and there should be more help, and they shouldn't have to go through this. Life is hard enough. Twinkle Dream Peachy said, I get what you mean. I used to volunteer in a school before, and even then you could tell with teachers which ones genuinely cared. The ones who didn't, you'd see little signs. Kids left out, no follow-ups, no adjustments. It's heartbreaking because kids always feel it first. Man, you're shaping their little minds. Like, come on. Exactly. Anyone who knew of her doing these things felt her too. Yeah. Cookies too said exactly. It's pretty disgusting that aide allowed this to happen for an entire school year as well. Seriously. KDT86 said, the aide could probably push a wheelchair too. If it broke her heart so much, why didn't she move her to be with other kids? Even if it put your job in jeopardy, you should not allow that. Confusion Helpful 4667 said, the teacher's aide is a required reporter and needs to be fired. Seriously. Misty Bird 2197 said, yes, if she hadn't seen the mum by chance, she would have kept quiet. This should have been flagged up on the first instance. Mr. Chester, so Mrs. Chester said, scroll too far for this. Confusion Helpful said, this makes me livid when mandated reporters fail to protect our children. It's a very real problem. But like Why Though says, it's not that simple. Teachers' aides are mandated reporters, however, they have to have admin approval to report. Same with every low-level mandatory reporter. I've wanted to file reports and have been blocked by admin only to get let go later because I was rubble by even bringing it up in the first place. I've been a mandatory reporter in most jobs I've had, but not a single boss would let me make the reports that should have been made. They're too worried about covering their own asses, or you making extra work for them because they don't like to work in the first place. Lucky Leprechaun said, let you? In different instances I have been in where I had to make a report, I didn't ask my boss's permission. I informed them I was going to be making a report. And if I had ever gotten any pushback, I would have just done it on my own time. But like Why Though said, I would have been fired immediately if I made the report without their permission. Instead, I told the parents, like the teacher aide did. Bosses got mad and still pushed me out, but they couldn't fire me without it looking like punishment to the parents, and I had time to line something else up. Alright guys, we're going to go to our second music break. On this music break, we once again have the lovely and talented Miss Tamara Bubble with I'm It, Natural Born Winner, and Pringles. Then we got Griff from Toronto, Canada with Let Freedom Ring and Zoo. And then we have Prime Example featuring Carolyn Giles with Dancing Machine. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
Okay, yo, here's the scoop. You can still be a slave, yo, whip the loop, that's the truth. Got big houses, nice cars, that's real cute, but it doesn't mean nothing, you ain't free to choose. When I say free to choose, no alarm clock, don't gotta hit the snooze. The world is backwards, I'm so confused. They say freedom of speech, but when you speak your mind, they blow a fuse. Just being honest, common sense and common, it's kind of ironic. My freedom, I recently bought it, now I'm a target. If I do the wrong thing or say the wrong thing, come on man, let freedom ring. Yeah. United States become divided states. The world is filled with all kinds of shades, and still resegregate. Parents separate from the children, that's not okay. We should be free to laugh and play. Do it now, before you pass away. Fight for what's right, enough for everybody to get a piece of the pie. Brainwash, social media, full of lies. Go to work, pay bills, then you die. Need a breakaway, guns, get rid of the AKs. Our ancestors paved way since the slave days, but we still hurting. Carry that burden, stop playing victim, beat the system. Love is love, it should be shown. Can't grow unless you leave your comfort zone. This I know, I learned all this from the mentorship. Kids don't know what independent is. Take advantage what your parents did. Go against the grid, you have to. Like going to the bathroom, learn the right songs. Cause of Matthew, liberty like statue. They call now the present, cause it's a gift. It should be cherished, last name fearless, not Harris. All thanks to my parents' parents. Now, love the last name every time that I hear it, cause I know what it represents. Climb the fence, so now I got freedom. Such a beautiful thing. Freedom. Such a wonderful thing. Freedom. Such a beautiful thing. Freedom. Such a wonderful thing.
Just make hits. You won't do all that posting, naked pics for likes, and I ain't make this up. I can't fake this. Seeing it, loving it, feeling it, breathing it. Saying it, doing it, running it, barely. I'm a natural winner. I'm the one that you invite to meet your parents for dinner, cause I can take a couple L's and I'ma bounce right back. Just so you and all your friends can hit the bounce like that. Cause I'm seeing it, loving it, feeling it, breathing it. Bentley. I'm a natural winner. I'm the one that you invite to meet your parents for dinner, cause I can take a couple L's and I'ma bounce right back. Just so you and all your friends can hit the bounce like that. Cause I'm a lover and a fighter and a giver and a pleasure and pain and boss deliver it out. Yeah, I make this look real easy. Everybody hate Chris, but I'ma win like Breezy. But I started later on the way to the top and can't stop, so don't push not one button on this elevator. They try to push my buttons to start levitating, rise above it all. I can tell that you fake when you're shaking my hand, and the smile on your face shows me even you're greeting and meeting that love is hating. I'm actually amazing, but modestly saying I ain't waiting for co-songs or playlists, cause I ain't nowhere close to my greatness. I don't do all that boasting, just make hits. Yo, I don't do all that posting, naked pics for likes, and I ain't make this up, I can't fake this. Seeing it, loving it, feeling it, breathing it. Saying it, doing it, running it, barely. I'm a natural born winner. I'm the one that you invite to meet your parents for dinner, cause I can take a couple L's and I'ma bounce right back. Just so you and all your friends can hit the bounce like that, cause I'm seeing it, loving it, feeling it, breathing it. Saying it, doing it, running it, barely. I'm a natural born winner. I'm the one that you invite to meet your parents for dinner, cause I can take a couple L's and I'ma bounce right back. Just so you and all your friends can hit the bounce like that, cause I'm the one you gon' call when you're lonely. I'm the new girl on the block, you gon' show off to your homies. I'm telling you now, we gon' vibe in the booth. How you crave another feature like I'm your sweet tooth. All my people wanna see me shine, but I don't pray for you to fall, cause I don't play with karma. When I slide through, it's gon' be bad timing. Like, watch out, little homie, watch out. I'm
but you can't reap. Know that you lack, but you can't reap. Know that you lack, but you can't leave. You can't leave. You're right where you wanna be. That is right here with me. You're right where you wanna be. Right with me. You can be anything you want, if that's what you really want. You can be anything you want. I want you to do right now is leave this. All I wanna do. All I want you to do right now is leave this. For good, I'm wasting time. Not trying to lose my mind. Know that I am wasting time. Not trying to lose my mind. If you want to get left behind in this rat race, go back to my place where I know it's safe, and lock myself in my room. Won't watch the news, cause it is so confused. What can I do if I lose you? All I want you to do right now is leave this. All I wanna do. All I want you to do right now is leave this for good. Okay. She was a loompa loompa, now her body super duper. Getting a lot of attention she was never used to. Hitting me up like I was Uber. Got a few miles, so I guess she's a cougar. Real winner, never seen her with a loser. Gorilla talk, ooga booga booga. Scuba, tuba, diver, I'm a rider. Getting cider, sweet like cider. Fighter, fighter, rider. Neither wants to get it going. Know it, hold it, fold it, blow it. Wait, I'm joking. Cages broken from these beasts from down east on the streets. It's a zoo. All I want you to do right now is leave this. All I wanna do. All I want you to do right now is leave this for good.
poppin', we been poppin' like
Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Pringles in the whip, I be stacking them chips like Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Big bank, baby, money grip, I be stacking them chips. Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Pringles in the whip, I be stacking them chips like Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Big bank, baby, money grip, I be stacking them. I ain't never been afraid of a strange beat. New track from the crates, but the same me. Lights on, bills paid, bring the same heat. Couldn't picture me spend the same unless you bring me. Low key, humble brag, never change me. New money coming in, the bank's changing. The quarters to dollars to checks every hour. That money come in when I sleep or I shower. That's motivation, that dedication. I can see my dreams, I'm already chasing. That bezel clean, to watch me embrace it. I'm a single girl that already taken like a stick-up kid. They already shaking. No Harlem, Brooklyn, being known for break-ins. Bubble on deck, being known for caking. Stacking and saving and move up out the hood money. This that, we been eating good money. This that, really wish you would, homie. This that, see you laughing but broken funny. So get up out the hood, homie. Ain't no rentals over here, dummy. And no, they don't really think that we own it. Who we been poppin', look on. Love the money, but the money love me long time it on. Yeah, them bills, so got the money with my own ground. That move up out the hood money. This that, we been eating good money. This that, really wish you would, homie. Who we been poppin' like Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Pringles in the whip, I be stacking them chips like Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Big bank, baby, money grip, I be stacking them chips. Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Pringles in the whip, I be stacking them chips like Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Big bank, baby, money grip, I be stacking them. I ain't never been afraid of investing. I'm talking more than dice games and I'm scratch offs. Lottery jackpots and the hundreds of millions. So who you think they making money on the backs of? Ain't no gambling today. Ain't no gambling where my money that I built up. Got my money strong, yeah, my money long, my money song. Not one business, but no business. Natural growth, I mean no business. New growth like my natural hair. Yeah, I'm 10 toes down on the show business. Like back up off, man. Ain't no move around dope business. Bring the track up with the tracks out in the both ways. Steady running your mind, talking this and that. But it's that, move up out the hood money. This that, we been eating good money. This that, really wish you would, homie. This that, see you laughing but broken funny. So get up out the hood, homie. Ain't no rentals over here, dummy. And no, they don't really think that we own it. Who we been poppin', look on. Love the money, but the money love me long time it on. Yeah, them bills, so got the money with my own ground. That move up out the hood money. This that, we been eating good money. This that, really wish you would, homie. Who we been poppin' like Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Pringles in the whip, I be stacking them chips like Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Big bank, baby, money grip, I be stacking them chips.
show call. Step, 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 baby, follow my lead. You and me showing off for the club to see. No time to get rest, we doing our thing. Cha cha, then we dip, top it off with a spin. Glide across the floor, let's do it again. By the way, little mama, can we be friends? I can't let this night just end. I really wanna know if I can see you again. Give me your number, we'll get back on the scene. We can hit another club if that's your thing. We'll be partners in crime, you and me, as we ripping up floors like two dancing machines.
Welcome back, and thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. So, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. I just really wasn't digging the Am I the Devil Reddit page. I don't know, I was expecting something different, you know? Kind of like Am I the Asshole, but darker. So let's go on over to Today I Fucked Up. Alright. Go ahead and join there out of respect. This one's by Name LESSTP. I fucked up by mocking my neighbor's parrot for the last couple of weeks. So, I live in an apartment where the walls are thin enough that I can hear my neighbor's TV, phone calls, and unfortunately their parrot. This parrot, very beautiful animal, but makes me want to rip my hair out and do things I am not proud to admit. Let's just say, he has become my morning alarm for the last few months. About 2 weeks ago, I started mocking his sound back. He'd squawk, I'd squawk. He'd whistle, I'd whistle. We built up a little routine, kind of like distant, angry roommates communicating through bird calls. Sometimes I would even initiate it, like when I was cooking, I would randomly have Tourette-like outbursts and start squawking loudly. I know this is strange. Yesterday, my neighbor knocked on my door and had a really odd look on her face. Apparently, ever since I started doing my bird banter, her parrot has become obsessed with me. I guess I just wasn't in the mood for bird talk last couple of days and went silent. She said he paces and screeches when I stop responding. She even showed me a video. Oh my gosh. It was such an awkward experience. She said, he used to have a parrot friend years ago that died, and she thinks it wants some sort of bird companion. Anyway, sorry. She asked me to make a couple bird sounds as she put a treat in its cage to see if it would eat. I reluctantly agreed and felt humiliated, of course. But I went through with it, and sure enough, the little fucker started eating and playing. Oh, long story short, I became the object of a parrot's affection, and my neighbor asked if I could talk to him for a few minutes a day. even gave preferred times if I'm home. I've unintentionally entered a long-distance relationship with a bird. Oh my god. So long story short, mocked my neighbor's parrot, accidentally became his soulmate. Oh no. Poor guy. Bernie MP says, bruh, this is like a buddy movie where you forced yourself to be your enemy's best friend. I feel sorry for you, but also good for you. Kinda sucks when you want to be a dick but make friends instead. Naruto Roll says, OP is just mad because it's not fun knowing the bird loved the mocking and now the thing that annoyed him that he enjoyed responding to is a requirement now. It's like being told to clean your room as a kid when you were either doing that already or about to get started. It's annoying in its own way. Sorry I annoyed you with my friendship, the bird. Andy Birdnard. Get out. Oh man. Ordinary Cactus Flower said, this is how my best friend and I became friends. She was my bully, but one day I was singing a song alone on the playground and she recognized it and joined in. We were inseparable until high school. And now begrudging parrot friend sounds right up my alley. Harry Squatter 33 said, yeah, I love that phrasing. Forced to be your enemy's best friend, but it's a parrot instead of a person. Iconic. Rough Duff Cough says, or is it Rough Dough Cough? Holy shnikes. This is some Dennis the Menace shit right here. Crying Potato 49. Bird was Ronery. Winjin, highly intelligent, bored, lonely, and missed his dead friend, despised by the only person that kinda communicates with him. Poor fella. Also, it's a good moment to build rapport with a neighbor and discuss insulation of the wall on both sides for maximum results. Hopefully you live on the end so you don't have to do that with both sides. Primary Acadia says, for real, it's wild how you can end up bonding with a parrot like that. Grandpa Thundercat said, story of my fucking life, bro. I do so totally want to be a dick, but end up letting my empathy win, and I make friends instead. Also, I really want a parrot now. Kingwood Theater. What? Okay. It's like in The Other Guys when he learns ballet sarcastically. Ice Bear Borealis says, maybe I'm reading as a pessimist, but I missed the part where OP was happy about this. I read it as OP now feels coerced to tend to the mental health of an obnoxious bird, which he doesn't like. More of a one-sided relationship, if you ask me. Maybe he isn't too happy, but the parrot is under the impression that they are very good friends. You know, they talk every day. You can't say that about all your friends, you know. Alright. Yeah, that was funny. I'll lock this page already. Okay. Alright. I think I fucked up by giving myself acid reflux for 25 years. Well, that sounds delightful. This is by Boring Mom 0409. I am 34 years old and have had excruciating acid reflux since I was about 8 years old. I have been taking prescription strength medication every day for 25 years to control it, and still have had terrible symptoms that sometimes keeps me up all night. I've even had an endoscopy under general anesthesia to try to discover the cause. Recently, I noticed that my symptoms seem to start after I take my evening allergy and asthma medication. Incidentally, I have been taking these pills since I was about 8 years old. I've always been able to easily dry swallow pills without water. Ugh, I can't do that. I can take a whole handful of pills dry with no problem. So that's how I've always taken my medication. Ew. So I googled it, and sure enough, by swallowing pills can lead to pills getting stuck in your esophagus and cause acid reflux. I started taking water with my pills, and sure enough, my acid reflux symptoms disappeared immediately. It's been a few months now, and I haven't had a single episode of reflux when I used to have it several times a week. The down low, I gave myself acid reflux nearly every day for 25 years by dry swallowing pills. Holy crap. I don't know why ChatGPT just popped up. I do not use such things. Alright. A trainers said, sending this now to my teen that always dry swallows pills because I don't need water to take them. Mom. And suffers from reflux. Thank you. Boring Mom 0409 said, I'm glad me figuring out how dumb I was being can save someone else who is being dumb. Mooseegg says, hey, at least it wasn't another 25 years. Mohug says, 25 years from now, someone will be Googling acid reflux help and will come across this thread and have another aha moment. Silver Twilight Look. It wasn't from Googling, but about 13 years ago, a post on Reddit All was a real light bulb moment for me in realizing I had undiagnosed ADHD. I think I'm in that club too. It changed my life drastically for the better. I always upvoted stuff like OP's story. You don't know what you don't know, and this is genuinely useful to learn. I also sometimes dry swallow pills, which I now know is a bad habit and I'll need to stop doing. I just don't get how people would even think or want to do that. Like, what the hell? I could not even swallow something without some sort of liquid to wash it down. I just can't. My son has kind of the same issue, so I have to give him liquid medicine. Alright. Possum Doll said, imagine if OP had never found out and didn't know until he was an ancient old man dying in hospice care and a nurse told him. Yep, you never know. Alright. The other cantaloupe 4765. I think I fucked up by not realizing the crystals on butt plugs are removable. Say what, karaoke? Okay. Obligatory, not today, LOL. It was quite a while ago. So a while ago I decided I was gonna experiment with some butt stuff. I didn't know if I was into it or not, but I figured why not try it and find out. I did some research and found out that it's best to start with the silicone plugs rather than the metal, and to use plenty of lube to go slow. Seems legit. I ordered a beginner set from Amazon with 3 different sizes. I don't know if I can read this. There were black silicone and those fake crystals on the end of the flared base, which is fairly common as far as I could tell. What? I washed them and then waited till I got in the mood one day, so I'm feeling pretty aroused, and pulled these plugs out of my drawer. Nice, let's do this. I used some lube and slowly worked the small one into the old Starfish Hall of Fame. It went in nicely and wasn't uncomfortable at all, so then I move on to my vibrator, which goes into my baby chute. I'm laying in bed, getting my freak on solo. I'm doing fine, alright. Now that the parlor and the back office are occupied, let's get into business here. I start moving the vibrator back and forth like one does, and I'm feeling pretty good, like one does. But oh shit, things are about to take a turn for the worst. As I push the vibrator back in, I feel something very uncomfortable around the backside. Apparently the crystals on the end of those plugs are removable? So the crystal popped out and the whole plug just went shloop right up the old bung hole, I'd say. Fuck me, but that's what got me into this mess in the first place. I removed the vibrator and frantically shoved my fingers up into the bouteille version of the bat cave, shat cave. Sorry, I had a intruder alert. Where was I? Bat cave, shat cave. Where? Okay, there you are. I had to push and feel around, not an easy feat considering the level of panic I was experiencing. I thought for a horrifying moment that I might have to go to the ER and get it dug out of there, but eventually I managed to reach the end of the plug, but just barely, and it hurt like a bitch trying to pull that thing out. Pretty sure I scraped the butt walls with my fingernails in the panic, but I got it out. Thank you, Lord. I stared at the mother butt fudger and then got up and threw it away. No thanks, I don't think I'm into butt stuff. Nope. No sirree bobbin at that point. I was so unhorny that I just cleaned everything up, scraping my fingernails on the walls of my boot hole while chasing a runaway boot plug. Didn't really put me in the mood. Shocking, I know. Right? So there you have it. My embarrassing story of my intro to butt stuff. 0 to 10, would not recommend. So the down low is I didn't realize that the crystals pop off the plug, so it popped off and the plug got sucked up my boothole. Edit. Fuck y'all accusing this of being AI. I don't need AI to live my life for me. In fact, I went and dug through my old stuff and found one of the plugs I never used. I recorded a short video as proof. Oh my god, Becky. Weird. Did she really? Oh. Yeah, she did, and she's showing it. Holy shnikes. That's a big crystal, too. What the crack? Uh-oh. Here's the popped off crystal. It's pretty damn big. Okay, so that goes in the handle. But if it pops out, then there's no longer a word handle area. Yes, I get it. Wow. Wow. Alright, well, at least you realized pretty early in the game that you weren't really into boot stuff. So Kaggles-9533PA says, that's a terrible design, to be honest. Other Cantaloupe 4765 said, I agree. Who the fuck thought that that was a good idea? You could, use some Gorilla Glue to glue the crystal into the handle or base part. Golan's Hat said, hope you left a review on the product warning of removable parts. Hate to hear this happen to someone else. Bum Jiggy said, yeah, that's definitely not deserving of a positive plug. Gay Sheep said, username checks out. I see what you did there. Zoilo said, I know, right? Other Cantaloupe, oh, for sure. I went back on Amazon to check on this right now, and that brand doesn't look like it exists anymore. It was the brand Ritter, like John Ritter. Dan Todd, sounds more like Wronger. Ain't that the truth? Glad to hear it. Yada yada. Resident Welcome 3908 said, ER nurse here. And I was about to say, my uncle who raised me and my little brother after my mom was killed in a car accident, and my dad left us with our grandparents, and then aunt and uncle came and got us and saved us. But he had crazy stories from the ER. He could share the stories, he just couldn't share names. So yeah, a lot of stuff that was really, really gross, he thought was really funny. And when I say really gross, I mean really gross, like 10 times worse than this story. But anyways, these stories do exist. Resident Welcome says, "You're a nurse here. While we treasure any opportunity to retrieve items from orifices, it's likely that any item inserted into the anus will emerge from the anus in advance of the next bowel movement, surfing the brown wave to freedom. Eat lots of fiber and chew each mouthful thoroughly." Amper Scandalous said, "Even if she did need assistance removing it, I bet you'd be relieved that it's at least a sex toy, albeit a poorly designed one." Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes, the soda bottles and candles are much more difficult to extract, and the gerbils. Alright, well, I've had enough of that butt stuff, I must tell you. Let's move right along. Let's get along, little doggies. Muchacho 1994. Think I fucked up at work by forgetting that other languages and religions exist. So I work as a clerk at a grocery store, alternating between cashiering and bagging depending on the shift. Today, a family of a husband, wife, and 2 boys came through the checkout. Since the woman was wearing all black with a black veil, I asked if it would be appropriate to call her mother, when in retrospect sister would likely have been more accurate. She replied, "I don't speak English," but she just did. Her husband could speak it pretty well, though. I heard the family conversing in what sounded like Spanish, the fact that other languages exist never crossing my mind. Though I'm not fluent in Spanish, I greeted their sons with, "¿Cómo está usted, niños?" They didn't answer me and instead stared. I only learned why after listening to some of the conversation between the man and the cashier I was bagging for that day. The family actually spoke Turkish. I think they were too busy talking to the cashier, mutually trying to figure out if a vegetable was a turnip or a rutabaga, to notice too much, but I feel a bit guilty. I'd like to blame only getting half a night's sleep on what happened today, but I think the real reason is just because I'm stupid. Looking back, I now wonder if the veil the nun was wearing was actually hijab. You never know. Hujachi said, "So you thought a nun visited with her husband and kids?" Yeah, we ain't even gonna get into this. Moving right along. Yeah, that boot plug one was quite a bit. It was a buttload. Nuns with nunchucks. Think I fucked up holding hands with my friend. I was holding my friend's hand while we were walking in the mall, which was nothing new for us. My friend is legally blind and needs someone to guide him from time to time, especially in busy environments. However, holding my friend's hand unexpectedly attracted a random woman who approached us and said, "Gaying is a sin," before handing me a piece of paper with religious writing scribbled all over. "So is judging, bitch." Sorry, I just had to add that. My friend asked me to read what was on the piece of paper, so I read the first line and said, "Devil Satan is coming." Unlike me, my friend managed to laugh about the situation, which prompted the woman to tell us that her son was taken by the devil for gaying. My friend stopped laughing and asked the woman to explain how the devil took her son for gaying. The woman said she gave her son a choice and he chose gaying for Satan instead of staying for Jesus, so he left and she never saw him again. Without any warning whatsoever, my friend gave me a quick but sloppy kiss on the mouth and said, "You heard the lady, the Dark Lord is coming, so you better hurry home and come before the devil does." As soon as my friend was done delivering that line and leaving me feeling even more confused, he squeezed my hand and pulled me away from the woman. I looked over my shoulder and noticed the woman was just watching us walk away without moving. My friend and I approached security and explained what happened. Security said they knew exactly who we were talking about and promised to act accordingly because it was not the first report they received regarding the same woman. When my friend and I were finally alone again, I was like, what the fuck was with the kiss, bro? For the record, my friend and I are both straight. My friend shrugged and said he improvised. Needless to say, it was weird for me to continue holding his hand post-gang, but you know what? I'll always be there to give him a hand if he needs one. Yeah, judging is a sin too. It's none of your business. Love is love. Just leave it be. Leave it be. It does not affect you. It does not concern you. Keep your nose out. So Fat Fellow said, looks like 3 gays she created so far. Good on her. Shivy Shinkin said, for the record, my friend and I are both straight. Wink, wink. T3HNOSPOON. What? Tinospoon. Wink, twink. The $20 is $20. Gotta throw in the Klondike bar. Down a hallway. No, you throw a hot dog down a hallway. Physical Standard 69 said, OP did state he will always be there to give friend a hand if he needs one. Sesaman said, if that wasn't tongue-in-cheek, I don't know what is. Physical Standard said, but those... whose tongue was in whose cheek? Wombat Battalion said, yeah, me too, buddy. Gazaglube said, nudge, nudge, say no more. I'll always be there to give him a hand, not helping the case. Hata Quark said, so is spaghetti until it gets wet, right? Nuns with Nunchuck said, maybe for security. Was like, he's hard of hearing, so... Uh-oh. Yep. Sugar Temp said, the real sin here is your friend's comic timing, absolutely flawless. And yeah, that takes a lot of balls to kiss your friend like that. Zelenaki said, stop gaying. Nuns with Nunchuck said, I'm trying, but it's really hard. Baltic Airborne said, that's what she said. He said. Elegant Ferret said, giggity. You're plain... And what? You're plain vanilla guy. Too late, bud. She made you gay. Yeah, you gotta live with that now. Orjigog said, you just need a friend to give you a hand. Let me text you about it, said, maybe you're gaying it too fast. Slow your gaying it. Yeah, slow down, whatever. Alright, let's go back. Alright, this one is by Bizoy Core. I think I fucked up. I, Chinese female, offered my guy friend Asian candy while lying down in front of him. Uh-oh. I was in a meeting where they had Likey Jellies, Asian supermarket candy aisle staple. I love them, and my friend group currently isn't very Asian, so when I was told I could pocket some extras, I was pretty excited to be able to share a bit of my childhood with all my friends after the meeting. I had to run to rejoin them where they were hanging out, and all the seats are taken, so I ended up lying down on the floor and taking off my jacket with the jellies in them to catch my breath. As soon as I vaguely recover myself, one of my friends walks in and joins us. All he sees is that when I notice him, I immediately roll over and prop myself up with one elbow, and in that pose on the floor, slightly out of breath and still flushed, raised my eyebrows in excitement and said, hey, do you want some Asian candy? And then continued to grin excitedly without producing any sort of actual candy. There was a complete pause for a moment, then a lot of laughter at my expense once they realized I wasn't propositioning him in front of everyone. He did not, in fact, want my Asian candy. Raven1121 said, his Reddit post 5 years later. Was my friend coming on to me? Next time offer when there's less people around. I know, I thought that was going to be way worse than what you said it was, so... OP looking at their crush like, you dense motherfucker. Prince Gus said, it sounds kind of like what people used to do here. You have a Hershey's kiss. Kisses, I don't know if it's always plural, the chocolate, in your closed hand or pocket and ask a person, want a kiss? And if they react weird, just hold out the candy or else they kiss you and you're golden that way. What trickery. Alright, how much time do we have? How many more things can we get into? Got about 14 minutes. Let's say 12. Because we gotta do the outro too. Alright. Who's next? Leading ability 5142. I think I fucked up by forgetting I was screen sharing during a meeting and everyone saw my pop-up. I was in a morning meeting sharing my screen to go over some project notes. Everything was fine until my little productivity app decided to remind me, time to stretch, King, in giant pink letters across the top of the screen. I froze. Everyone saw it. My manager started laughing so hard she had to mute. I tried to play it off like it was some team morale thing, but no one bought that. Someone even screenshotted it for the group chat. Now it's become a full office meme. Every meeting since, at least one person greets me with, "Good morning, King," or asks if I've done my stretches yet. Can't even look at my computer without hearing them laugh in my head. That night, while playing My Prize, I got a text from my coworker that said, "Stretch, King." No context, just that. It's been 2 days and they still call me that. Run with it, buddy, run with it. C-W-or C-D-W said, "Just remember you're not the king unless you can take a little heat from your subjects." Sharp Day said, "Let them laugh, King. Deep down they wish their apps hyped them up too." I'm Nerve564 said, "And remember, it could have been worse things that popped up." Trash Cat said, "Right? They could have seen that Hinty game from Steam finished downloading." Only Spacey Brain said, "I forgot to close Steam one day and got a pop-up while finishing a Teams meeting that my brother was in a game. His Steam ID at that time was Big Hinte Titties? What?" CDW said, "This is why God invents VMSs. One VM dedicated to each job. Client guarantees this can't happen." Mammoth Access 1181 said, "Or multiple screens. Just make sure one screen doesn't fit the taskbar. Sister." Yeah. So Neki Porinko says, "Assert dominance. Wear a crown during your next meeting." Yes. And your robe and your comfy slippers. You can't forget comfy slippers. I'm so tempted to go over to Drew's scary stories. What do you think? It's like the last 10 minutes. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, this is a cryptid one. No, let's go to the next one. I feel like Mothman right now. My one creepy camping story. Milo304 under True Scary Stories. My one creepy camping story. I used to do lots of camping trips with a friend of mine post-college. Most of our trips were in Montana since that's where we both lived at the time and that's where this story takes place. My friend Jude and I used to spontaneously leave on camping road trips where we just pick a direction and drive until we found some cool place to hike and camp. Sometimes we'd look up trails and add 1 to 2 day backpacking adventures to these trips, but more often than not, we would end up in an empty campground or some pull-off on a Forest Service road and set up our tent right outside the car for the night. Looking back, it was wildly irresponsible because we never told anyone where we were going. We almost never had a plan, so we had gone missing. There would have been no clue as to where to start looking. We almost never had cell service where we camped. So the creepy camping story I have happened in 2020, which was the height of Jude and I's spontaneous camping phase. I had taken a week off of work and we wanted to go up to Glacier and hike and camp for several days, which we did. Since it was COVID, camping inside the park was not allowed, so we had to find random spots to camp every night. We stayed at one campground about 180 miles away from West Glacier on the way up, then found a different spot each night closer to the park. All of our campsites near the park were between 10 and 25 miles away from each other, so it was difficult to locate spots that were both legal to camp in and hadn't already been taken up by other park goers. This meant that we sometimes spent hours driving up random Forest Service roads looking for somewhere secluded to sleep, but we always managed to find something. Here's where it gets creepy. The first night of our trip, we stayed at a campground near Drummond, which was about 180 miles west Glacier. Early in the morning, when it had just started to get light, I heard something walking around the tent. This campground was occupied by a few other campers, so at first I thought that maybe one of them was looking for the bathroom. The steps were heavy and deliberate, like whoever it was wasn't trying to be quiet. It was in the grass though, so I couldn't hear individual footfalls. It was more like the sifting through the crushing of grass and twigs. Whatever it was walked within a few feet of our tent, coming from the side facing the woods, not the other campsites or the road. I was only half awake and I remember thinking two things. One, I'm glad I made sure Jude locked the car, and two, I really hope it's just a very bold deer and not a human. I was super tired and didn't want to think of it as anything creepy, so I did my best to fall back asleep, and eventually the sounds stopped, though I don't remember them ever moving away. They just weren't there anymore. Jude had prescribed sleeping pills and was a deep sleeper, so I assumed he'd slept through the whole thing. When we both finally got up for the day, I didn't think anything of it and didn't mention it to him. The second night, we were up by West Glacier after a day of hiking and found a spot not too far from the park entrance. It was a designated campground but was within a series of dirt roads in a wooded area. We'd seen other people pulled off and camping out of their cars just like we were. Our tent was set up right next to the car since there wasn't a lot of open space in the pull-off we'd found. Again, in the early hours of the morning, just when it was getting light, I woke up and heard someone walking around our tent. This time, the grass wasn't as tall, and I distinctly heard the heavy footsteps of a person walking right next to our tent, then around the car. Again, I remember being glad that Jude had locked the car the night before. The footsteps had come from woods, not the road, and continued moving about around our tent for a while. Then they eventually stopped without moving away. I again went back to sleep, then woke up for the day a couple hours later with Jude, and I didn't think anything more of it. I assumed it was someone hiking in the area who cut through our campsite as a shortcut. I didn't mention it to Jude. The third night, it took us a long time to find a campsite. It was pouring rain and we were both exhausted for a 13-mile hike. It took us 3 hours to find a place, and we finally settled on a pull-out of a dirt road above the Hungry Horse Dam. We were both uneasy about this spot because it wasn't off a Forest Service road, and we were a little worried we'd be bothered by traffic on the road or cops telling us not to camp there. It was remote, but not remote enough, if you know what I mean. The pull-off was kind of a little road that went nowhere, probably used to push snow onto it when plowing during the winter. It went about 50 yards into the woods, then ended with a dirt mound. There was an old fire pit and broken glass at the end of it, so we set up our tent near the entrance. It was still pouring rain, and Jude walked around in the mud in his bare feet while I kept my shoes on and examined the fire pit and broken bottles. Then we turned in for the night. I noticed too late that Jude had not locked the car, but he was asleep with the keys in his pocket. I was too tired to get out and do it manually, plus it was still raining and I didn't want to get wet. In the morning, just when it was starting to get light, I woke up and heard something walking around in the woods above our tent. I thought it was a deer at first because the steps weren't as loud as the ones I had heard the previous morning. Then whatever it was came down onto the pullout where our tent was and began moving around our car. The tent was set up only about 3 feet away from the car, so I could hear whatever it was very distinctly as it walked. The ground was muddy, so the footfalls were more muffled. Then I heard the car door open. I remember I'd been only half awake, but until that point, I became fully alert then, but was still a little unsure of what I'd actually heard, so I didn't immediately get up. However, I kept listening. Whatever it was kept walking around near the car. There was no sound of another vehicle nearby, so whatever it was had to have walked here. As I listened, I heard the car door shut. I sat fully up at that point, waking Jude up and said, "I'm going to go check that out." I honestly can't believe my nerve in that moment, but being scared, numb, and sleep-deprived tends to make me stupidly brave. I immediately put on my shoes and opened the tent. By this time, the sounds had stopped completely. Remember, the tent was right next to the car? On the same side as the woods, I would have heard someone walking away. I got out, and the first thing I noticed was that nobody was around or inside the car. It was Jude's car, and he's a bit of a mess, so no one would be able to fit in there if they weren't in the front seats anyways. The second thing I noticed was the ground was muddy all around the car and tent, and the only footprints in the mud were from my trail runners and Jude's bare feet. I even followed his barefoot trail around to make sure that every print was his. There were no footprints coming to or from the woods, nothing. I inspected the car and didn't find anything out of place. No signs of disturbance. I walked over to the fire pit and again could only find my own prints. Then I did the stupid thing and went past that fire pit into the woods. There I found a weird makeshift shelter made of pallets that had some blankets and women's undergarments in it. It scared the shit out of me initially because I was pretty spooked by this point and I thought there was a body in there, but upon closer inspection, the whole thing was rained out and undisturbed. Nobody had spent the night there in a long time. Even still, I didn't touch anything and only came within a few feet of the thing before turning around. I returned to the car and sat inside it while waiting for Jude to finish waking up. Then we packed up our tent and didn't mention it to each other at all that day. On the fourth night, we found a really cool spot below a dirt road on the west side of the park. We got briefly disturbed by a man walking into our campsite, but he just seemed like he was scouting out a place to camp with his family and didn't know we were there. That evening was otherwise uneventful, and we both went to sleep early because Jude wanted to catch the sunrise. I was afraid to miss my alarm, so I woke up in the middle of the night,